You know, like all other NASCAR races this year, the World 600 has been shortened by 10%. But even at 540 miles, or 360 laps, this race remains as one of the toughest grinds in motorsports. Charlotte is a 1.5-mile high-banked super speedway. These Grand National drivers will run it at 155 to 160 miles per hour, and they'll do it for approximately 4 hours, making it the ultimate test for man and his machine. You know, we just may see another Pearson-Petty battle today. You betcha. Both drivers have obtained NASCAR supremacy. Both will start in the front row. Hey, you don't want to miss this one. We'll be back for the start right after this message.
Hello, I'm Derek.
Victory Lane, the home of Lady Luck. In approximately 4 hours, one man will bask in its glory. 39 others will find that magic circle to be very elusive. For in any race, there can be but one winner. The starting field for this 15th annual World 600 is perhaps the most competitive in history, with only a 1.8-second spread between the first car and the 40th. David Pearson put the Wood Brothers Purelator Mercury number 21 on the pole with the fastest qualifying time of 157.498 miles per hour. Richard Petty, driving the STP Dodge number 43, had the second quickest time and starts alongside. Last year's winner of the World 600, Buddy Baker, has the third position, driving the RC Cola Ford number 15. Cale Yarborough is in the fourth spot, driving the Junior Johnson-prepared Car Care Chevy number 11. These are the leaders that bring this thundering 40-car field out of the fourth turn onto the tri-oval for the green flag. And now the longest, toughest stock car race in the world is underway. David Pearson got the jump off the pole and commands the lead as the whole pack pours through turn 2. At the end of the first lap, and with all cars wound up tight, Pearson is the front runner. Buddy Baker in car 15 is second, 43 Richard Petty is third, and Yarborough owns the fourth spot. The leaders stayed glued to Pearson, and on the high banks, this 4-car draft looks like a fighter squadron. Now Baker begins to try Pearson low through the turns. Buddy's won this race 3 times and knows the track like the back of his hand. Shortly after the start of the race, Tony Bettenhausen brought the VitaFresh car number 9 into the pits with a blown transmission. They're replacing it, and he will go back out. On the tri-oval, Buddy Baker decides that follow David time is over, and he whips the RC Ford through on the inside to take the lead. Cale Yarborough follows him through the hole to grab second. Now watch Cale. He's a hard charger and tries to get a wheel on the inside of Baker through every corner. 50 feet behind the Baker-Yarborough battle, Richard Petty passes Pearson to take over the third-place spot, and Cale continues to try and run the wheels off Buddy's Ford. This side-by-side duel continues lap after lap, even as they begin to knife their way through the slower traffic. Neither Baker nor Yarborough will back off. Uh-oh, look out! Cale tried a little too hard that time and lost it in the second turn. This brings out the first yellow flag of the day, and half the field screams into the pits for service. After all pit stops are made, it's Bobby Allison that has the lead and brings them down for the restart. Petty is second with Baker third. In the third pocket, Richard fires his number 43 Dodge underneath Allison to take over the lead. But keep your eye on Baker in number 15, because he's coming on. Baker low, Petty high, and once again, Buddy's got himself a running mate. Baker is really hot today as he outpunches Richard down the back chute, and in turn 3, the RC Cola Ford is out front again. After only 70 laps, Joe Frazan is out of the race with a blown transmission and clearly reflects the disappointment. Pearson moved around Petty into second place, and as they come onto the tri-oval, tucks the big Mercury on the low side of Baker to slide into the lead, entering turn 1. Buddy Baker is not to be denied today. As long as his car will run, he wants the front spot. And he takes it away once again, right down the front chute. Down the long backstretch, it's Baker, Pearson, and Petty. Average speed, 147.250 miles per hour. On the 153rd lap, Randy Tissett blew the engine in his Chevy and spun in the oil. He's all right, but out of the race. Another caution flag comes out while the cleanup crews go to work. The Truxmore Ford, number 90, with Charlie Glotzbach aboard, is pushed behind the wall with engine failure. Now, Charlie's name is added to that growing list of dejected drivers. On the 161st lap, it's David Pearson that leads all cars onto the tri-oval for another restart. However, now, Cale Yarborough in number 11 has moved into the second place spot. Richard Petty is third. Third turn, it's Mercury, Chevy, and Dodge in a tight trio. Baker's Ford is fourth. Through every corner, it's Yarborough low, Pearson high, side by side at 155 miles per hour, with Petty hanging back, waiting for the mistake that'll give him the lead. David Pearson just flat out duels Cale to retain the lead, but now Baker is breathing right down Petty's pipes. On the 186th lap, this race comes to an end for two more drivers, 28 Sam McQuagg and 29 Bobby Isaac. They were running as a team in the Pylon Wiper Chevrolets, and both cars go behind the wall. That was number 98, Richie Panch, who lost his Ford in the first pocket and spun all the way into turn 2. The third yellow silk of the day flies, and most of the field take the opportunity to pit. This is your chance for a close-up view of automotive service, Southern style. After some of the most frantic pit stop action in racing, they're out and off on the restart. Petty has the lead. 21 Pearson is second, and Cale Yarborough in the car care Chevy 11 is third. In the third pocket, David Pearson slams the Mercury home underneath Petty to swap leads once again. David and Richard seem to be running stronger on every lap, and already this race looks like it could become a Pearson-Petty battle right down to the wire. For the past 2 laps around the oval, the RC Cola Ford sounded bad. Now, on the 280th lap, Buddy Baker heads down pit row and into the garage area. The defending World 600 champion is out of the race. A broken rocker arm on the Dyguard Chevy number 88 puts victory lane out of the grasp of Donnie Allison. Down the front chute, Petty and Pearson still battle it out. And in the third turn, a spinner. The next yellow flag comes through the courtesy of Buddy Arrington, who blew the engine in his Plymouth number 67, spun all the way around through the third turn, and escaped onto the apron. Once again, the cleanup crews head onto the track. Another rash of pit stops were made under a brief yellow flag. Now the pace car leads Petty, Pearson, Yarborough, and company onto the front straightaway for the restart. Down the back chute, Richard tries to stretch Pearson, but no way. These cars are so evenly matched that no driver has been able to pull away from the pack. Here he comes, right in front of the main grandstand. David Pearson waves the magic wand and zaps the Mercury into the lead, dropping Richard Petty to second. Spurned again by the hand of fortune, a very disheartened Dan Daughtry climbs out of his car after blowing the engine. The competition narrows as one driver after another with damaged machinery join the ranks of the spectators. On the front chute, David Pearson is still the leader, but now Cale Yarborough and the Chevy 11 has moved up to do battle with Richard Petty for the second place spot, and the crowd goes wild. There goes another one. Earl Ross in the Carling car number 52 lost it and spun going into turn 2. He cut down on the infield grass and came out on the back chute to finish the spin. After a couple of narrow misses, Earl whipped the car around and back into the race. But the yellow is out again. And now the crowd is tense because the race on the track between Petty, Pearson, and Yarborough goes to the pits. Watch this action. It's fantastic. Cale is out first. Then David Pearson. Petty is third car out. And on the restart, it stacks up just that way. Yarborough, Pearson, and Petty. There they go. Before this restart is 1 lap old. Richard Petty dives into the low groove on the back chute and goes from third to first. The STP Dodge is the new leader. Number 95, Darrell Waltrip, holds down on the 4th place spot, but number 12, Bobby Allison, has been fighting for it all afternoon. That's all she wrote for James Hilton. He just blew his number 48 Chevy in the 3rd turn and now heads for the garage. Meanwhile, the 3-pack of Petty, Yarborough, and Pearson are scraping fenders through every corner of the racetrack. Hey, it's slick in the 3rd turn. Look out. Pearson is loose. 1 car spins. Cale is off the wall, out of control. The 8th yellow flag of the day flies when the car care Chevy is totaled out. Cale's face is a study in despair and fatigue as he walks back to the pit. The Chevy that was running so strong with a good chance for victory lane is now towed behind the wall, out of the race. The accident happened with only 15 laps to go in the race. So close, but yet so far. Richard Petty leads Pearson and the remainder of the field onto the tri-oval for the green flag, and the restart is complete. With 10 laps to go, this is a race fan's dream. The STP Dodge, number 43, the Purolator Mercury, number 21, 2 of the most explosive machines in stock car racing, piloted by Richard Petty and David Pearson, a couple of the smartest professionals in the business. And they're locked up right now in a wheel-to-wheel battle for a permit to victory lane. Turn 1 and David closes on Richard. Now the fight is on and 90,000 fans are up and screaming. Right down the back chute, he does it. David Pearson takes the lead. But Petty doesn't know how to quit. In the 4th turn, he dives down low, and as they come onto the main chute, they're side by side and breaking off the door handle. Down the long back chute, Pearson unleashes the full power of his Mercury to pass Petty and gain the lead once again. Riverside, Daytona, Talladega, Atlanta, Darlington, Charlotte, David Pearson and Richard Petty have run like this 1,000 times on 1,000,000 miles of the fastest speedways in the nation. Truly, this is racing Southern style. The white flag, 1 more lap to complete the longest stock car race in the world, and it's now or never for Richard Petty. He has that Dodge wound out all the way. Entering turn 3, he begins to set Pearson up for the slingshot, but can he pull it off? the tri-oval. Both cars are flat out. Petty can't make it, and David Pearson flies under the checkered flag, winner of the 15th World 600. With just a few feet to go, Bobby Allison fired his Coke machine past Darrell Waltrip to steal the third-place money. A once-empty victory lane now beckons to David Pearson and is suddenly filled with the joy and happiness of winning. Barty said it best. Winning is not everything, but making the effort to win is. The zeal to be first has always been American. To win, and to win, and to win. But everyone cannot be a winner all the time. The credit, however, belongs to the man who enters the arena, who at best knows the triumphs of high achievement, who at worst fails, but at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who know neither victory nor defeat. Today, it's David Pearson, but each Sunday there's a new encounter, a new challenge, another winner, who will bask here for a moment in the warm, brilliant sunlight of victory.
Hey, I hope you enjoyed this 1974 version of the World 600. A record crowd saw passing, lead changes by the dozen, and David Pearson winning by 0.6 of a second. You know, this is the kind of action that makes racing the explosive sport that it is. And until next week, this is Bud Lindeman, reminding you to drive carefully. You know, there's no victory lane at the end of the highway, so why hurry?